So the younger ones could be asking like, what's the point of a career? Everything's shit.
We've been a part of multiple historical events. We're burned out. So today we'll be talking about our careers dead.
Our career's dead.
Yes.
If people stop paying, then we're all dead, I guess.
This is exactly what the TikTok video that I saw recently, right?
Oh yeah?
They started off with a controversial hook. Basically, they're saying careers are dead. And I was like, what do you mean careers are dead? So they're saying it's because millennials and Gen Z, we're living in this time where most of us are not interested in climbing the corporate ladder anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, careers are all about like advancing, working in a company for years, company loyalty. And the reason being is because we're working to survive. We're not working to kind of like pursue a career anymore.
Oh, things are getting more expensive, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like buying a house or like owning a car. I guess it's like, what age are we looking at here first? Let's look at the age.
Okay,
Like,
so millennials. Do you want the technical?
share it. Let's just get that
Okay.
information.
Let's see. Okay, let's
Yeah.
look it up. How old are millennials? Okay. So millennials are born between 1981 to 1996. So wait, are you born between these?
82, so
82, right? So you are a millennial. I am also a millennial.
old millennial.
Old millennial. I'm like towards the tail end-ish kind of millennial.
What's that? 96, you said?
96 is the end, the cutoff. So
Wow.
like my age is around there.
Yeah.
And then there's Gen Z, which starts from 1997 to 2012.
Ooh.
2012?
2000.
2012?
We had a movie in 2012. The world ended,
Oh my god. 2000 so how old would they be now? If they were born in 2012.
Yeah.
Now it's 2023, right? So they would be 11. So there are 11-year-olds who are Gen Z now.
Oof.
So that would be my nephew, sort of. Yeah, my nephew's 11. So
Ouch.
he's Gen Z. So his generation is not pursuing a career anymore. Neither is my generation, and I think some of your generation as well.
I guess it's a change of format, though. If you think about it, it's like maybe it's not career is the word. Maybe it's like what lifestyle.
I think
I don't know.
I think it's more so like there are too many graduates and not enough jobs.
Oh yeah, 8 billion people. That
There's
was
8 billion
announced.
people.
Yeah, that was announced that the world right now has 8 billion people. So
Wow.
many.
There's
Too
so
many.
many. And I think there's not enough of like certain people in certain fields. Like IT field is suffering from like lack of employees and lack of people taking IT degree. And then there's also like too many engineers or too many doctors, but not enough like doctor job opportunities. Yeah, but which is like kind of it's a complicated situation because
You're talking about careers, right?
they were talking about careers, yeah.
Okay, here's my thought. All right, there was this Netflix series called 100% Physical,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they got the professionals to come in, which are career-minded professionals, athletes. It's a muscle thing, like
Yeah.
where you go and work out, you see who's strong, who's endurance, pulling ropes, carrying things, and then physical stuff.
Yeah.
These guys are like, it's a Korean thing, right? It's a Korean reality show. And these guys who go and work out are the ones that take protein, join competitions and endurance.
Basically
and
like
strength.
the fittest.
Yeah. So they get 100 people to come and join. But they mix it up with those people who are also YouTubers
Oh.
to come in.
Okay.
And as the episodes go on, spoiler alert for some of you, but not that bad. The YouTubers were doing well, bro. So you're talking about career and professionalism now. People are taking it out there into the platform like YouTube or the platform of social media.
Yeah.
And some of the professionals versus the YouTubers, the professionals lost. The YouTubers actually made it through to the next level. So think about it. It's becoming more apparent that careers these days are more social.
More social.
I think so. I think like you talk about corporate ladder, and then you talk about the freelance, and you talk about like people
Yeah.
making the content and making a career out of it.
Are you saying it's entrepreneurial, kind of? Like people are taking the entrepreneurial route?
Good question.
Like
I feel like it's very independent though, like very ballsy.
very. It's kind of like they're not afraid to take risk, right? That's kind of like the vibe
They just
now.
do. It feels like it's just do and find out when and what. You know, I mean, like learning about. I mean, we've been in the corporate.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've been
corporate.
in the corporate.
Yeah, KPI.
Oh yeah, yep.
9 to 6, huddle, talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues, and get each other's mind together and just like thinking about how to get the career going. But now I think
Yeah.
people are more aware of themselves and asking themselves this question like, what is my career like if I'm going to be here for a while? In
Yeah.
a corporate company lah, right? Now it's become so transparent with what's going on in the corporate world. A lot of people, maybe the younger generation is like, I can't do that.
Yeah, because
I can't do that.
It seems mundane to them because, like, I feel like the younger generation just doesn't like routines so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for all of them, but like the ones that I do know,
Yeah.
who don't pursue the corporate ladder, they are saying that they are sick of routines, which is like the reason why I went out of corporate as well, because like every day is the same,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you kind of get that feeling that it's
It's
just
monotonous.
Monotonous.
Yeah.
I mean, like for some of you that's out there, it's maybe you enjoy that. I'm no ditching. If it's comfortable, you like your job, corporate job, and
Yeah.
you enjoy doing numbers. I don't know, lawyering or something like that. But now people start to realize that I can make my own career.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's like a third option that was never an option for like our parents.
I decided to go full time with emceeing in Malaysia, and emceeing career is a very niche.
It very
market.
yeah, it is.
And my parents actually didn't kind of accept that. Like, why would you want to go through this route where people are going to pay you to talk? Because back in those days, people volunteer to talk in events. You know what I mean? And when my dad found out how much I make for a show, he's like, "Wow, really?" He's impressed, and he's surprised that this is the kind of money that I was making with emceeing,
Yeah.
public speaking, and I think that's what's happening today.
Because
in
you
careers.
feel like it's more worth it to pursue something that you actually
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
It of course it comes with risk, right? Like even when I started YouTube, before this I was freelancing as a writer. So that was not the most stable thing because like sometimes you have clients, sometimes you don't, right? And
Yeah.
even as a content creator, when I started as a TikToker. So like in Malaysia, we do not have creator funds here.
We don't,
So
yeah.
even if I get millions of views, I'm not earning as much as you guys think I am.
And yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's just like, we hope you're getting paid. We hope TikTok pays you. And I'm like, absolutely not. We don't have such thing in Malaysia. You can earn from affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
But that's just not it. But when I got into YouTube, I didn't have any expectations. But then my videos started blowing up. And then I see that my income was way more than when I was working in corporate. So, and I was thinking.
And you had your
yeah.
time back though.
And I had my time back, right?
Yeah, man. You had more time than you actually realized.
Yeah.
that
Even though like that's not like 100% true, but it's time for myself, you know?
you have a choice.
Yeah, you have a
have
choice
that.
kind of thing. So I'm still
Yeah.
creating content. I feel like I got busier. You know?
feel like
I feel like I got busier.
Yeah.
But it's the good kind of busy because you feel more fulfilled when you're doing it for yourself.
How long has it been since you started freelancing?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
How do you feel now after 2 years, man?
I feel like it's the best choice I've ever made because, like, for me, I have a suspicion that I'm neurodivergent.
Neurodivergent.
Yeah.
What words is this, man?
So it's kind of like, okay, so there's two, right? Neurodivergence and neurotypical.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
before this, I used to go to a therapist to treat my anxiety and depression. So, and then the more I dig into it, the more I realize there's an underlying issue there. And the symptoms are very consistent to somebody who's neurodivergent. Either you have ADHD or you are on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
So I struggled for the longest time trying to understand that, right? Because there's
Wow.
always been a stigma behind autism and all that.
Right.
But I wasn't officially diagnosed. I want to get diagnosed though,
Okay.
to confirm what exactly that I have. But so far, when I've been talking to a couple of therapists, they said we suspect that you have ADHD. So when you have ADHD, it's a disability, right? So it's an invisible disability. So it's all up here.
Yeah.
So that means I need it.
I don't want to label it disability these days, bro.
Yeah,
I want to make it norm though.
It's because it seems like everybody has a disorder these days.
It's very challenging as well if your family members are going through this as well. And then there's a certain expectation.
Yeah.
And especially mom and dad say, "No, my kid's not like this. This can't be true. This is." I refuse to accept that my son or my daughter has ADHD, bipolar, anxiety issues and stuff like that. I think they struggle with it too.
Yeah. When I told my mom I was seeing a psychiatrist, she was kind of like, "Why? You're not crazy." And I'm just like, "That's not why you see a psychiatrist, though." And I showed her the medication that I got, to control my anxiety and all that. And then
How did she take it?
She was kind of like, "You're stressed. It's because you're stressed."
Oh, wow.
And then I was just like, maybe, because I wasn't super
You
educated
get
about it.
stress. Here's a Panadol.
Yeah,
Yes.
because my doctor straight up went, were you a high achiever as a child? And I was just like,
Interesting question though.
Yeah.
Were you a high achiever when you were a child?
yeah. And I was just like, yeah. She's like, would you consider yourself an overachiever? And I'm like, kind of. And she's like,
Overachiever,
do you
wow.
feel as an adult that you're not on par as your younger self? And I said yes. Then he's like, you might have autism or ADHD.
Straight up.
Straight up. And he's like, I would like you to get an official diagnosis so you can
Wow.
handle this better. And that explains a lot because at work, I find it hard to pay attention at meetings and stuff like that because
Yeah.
apparently you need closed captions, you need subtitles.
Forgetful?
I'm forgetful, yes. I'm forgetful, I'm clumsy. I used to have mobility issues. So I started talking earlier than everyone else,
Oosh.
which is a sign of a disorder.
I have to say something right now. How old were you that time? Oh man.
8 months.
8 months.
When I started saying full sentences.
It's so interesting because it is what it is,
It is what it is.
It is what it is, I think anybody who wants to like put it down in science and all that, nah, man, this is life, man.
This is, yeah. Straight up. And I was just like, was that not normal?
Like friends kind of tell me, nah, you don't have to think so much. No, I think so much that I can't stop thinking so much, and question after question, layer after layer. But I think we have to, most importantly, come to peace with it.
Yeah.
Come to peace with it. So
and know how to handle it.
Exactly. So you're talking about career, and now we're talking about mental health.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the mental health ties back into the career. Because
Yeah.
like regular 9 to 6 careers are not accommodative towards people who are neurodivergent.
Okay, so the career is happening. You're working for this company.
Yes.
Company policy has to change because of everybody's
Possible disorders.
possible disorders.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
putting us in a situation of an equity because we are neurodivergent,
Yeah.
right? So that means we need certain tools to help us, be on par with everyone else. I'm not saying that we are less than them. I'm just saying that we need certain
Normalize
tools.
it.
Normalize it. Right?
Normalize it, yeah.
Normalize closed captions, right? Normalize a lot of things. Normalize therapy. I don't know, just a lot of things that you need to normalize because with ADHD, you have hyper-focusing mode where you just kind of get at it. There are days where you're going to be mental blocked. There are days when you can't pay attention in meetings
Agreed.
because the meeting's way too long,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They don't get to the point,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not very, accommodating to me. So for the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me. But apparently, I wouldn't say there's something wrong. I feel like that's just how I was born.
Acceptance, bro.
Yeah.
You're getting to know yourself, man, and you're sharing it with the world, and everybody else can realize the same thing. Like, yo, you guys not going crazy, man. If you're going to go to a therapy,
Don't
or anything,
gaslight yourself.
Don't gaslight yourself. That's wonderful. Don't gaslight yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter the age, even though if you're going to be 50 or you're 20 right now. You're saying like, it's so late. It's so late. I only found out that I have this when I'm 45 or 41. I mean, like, hey, you know, it's
never
gonna
too late.
it's gonna take some time to accept it. But hey, better to know now than never to know. Boom.
Yeah, it will help you so much in your career. Even for me, like content creation requires a lot of like consistency, right?
Yeah.
So because like I set a deadline for myself. So like I can kind of predict when my burnout is going to happen. So when the burnout happens, that's when I get distracted by other things,
Wow.
you know?
Decompress yourself,
Yeah,
right?
I decompress it. And
Yeah.
so what I do is like when I'm on my hyper focus mode,
Oof.
that's when I go at it. Right. Shoot. You know, do it right now. Do it right now. Do
The
it right
husband
now.
knows this.
Yeah, he knows this. He's aware. You know my hyper focusing mode, right? So when I'm in a writing mojo, or like when I'm trying to do housework, because
Yeah.
like I struggle with housework. I'm a very messy person, which is also a neurodivergent trait.
ADHD. Huh?
Yeah, it's ADHD
Yeah.
because like you. So I have this box, right, where I stuff everything in.
Mm-hmm.
So I call it the doom box. So once I stuff it in, I don't remember anymore what's in the box. You know,
The Doom box.
it's a doom box, right?
Wow.
So I just have like clutters of stuff. So I'm like, okay, clutter number 1 is where my phone is. Clutter number 2 is where the camera is, right? So how I handle it is my friend told me to ADHD proof the house.
ADHD proof the house. My girlfriend has ADHD, and she talked about this, and she said the cluttering and disorganization of things.
And she's overwhelmed by the volume, right?
Yeah, overwhelmed by the volume.
Yeah.
you tend to forget sometimes.
Yes.
That you put it back there, and but we work a system though. We have a system.
How does it work?
Okay, anything that's small in one area. Anything that is like nail clippers. Where's the nail clippers? The nail clippers.
Small
Like,
area.
Small area. where
Small
all the
item
small
area.
items. Yeah, they're based on the categories and stuff like that. But I think we should normalize this, man.
Yes.
You know, I think that if you're talking about career, I think career. I think the leaders, the CEOs, the bosses need to be aware of what if they want to get the employees or workmates to work together, man. We gotta pay attention to the details. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then that's where the career is.
So if somebody's falling behind, you don't attack them. You try to understand what is going on.
them. Yeah.
Like understand their struggles. Okay, are you struggling with focusing during meetings? Try to kind of have like a checklist, like a prerequisite to like. It's good to have like an ADHD checklist,
Dude.
just to check, and then
Yeah.
maybe like refer them to a therapist of sorts. You know what I mean?
It's so subjective because some people I hear, I heard that they take advantage of this.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
hard part because it's
That's
an
the hard
invisible disorder. So
Exactly.
a lot of people just don't.
Yeah. So everybody out there is like taking advantage. Stop.
That's why you need the
Stop it.
You need to have like maybe like a checklist in you know, because like a lot of stigma around ADHD is that you can't pay attention. That's wrong because ADHD is also hyper focusing.
Exactly.
And that's when we excel usually.
Yeah.
And that's how I made it in school. I hyper focused. So like I hyper focused so much. I did so well in all my subjects. I did so well in competitions. But like I had some downtime. But when I was studying, the strange thing that I did was I have to blast music.
Strange. I have some friends who are like that.
Right? I can't focus in silence.
They need to put music.
Yes.
They need to have some background sound. They need to have something making some noise at the back. you
Yeah.
know, and then they can function.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, even when I'm doing housework, I have to blast music. So there was a time when this was like early on in the marriage, right? So like, and then Shak turned down the music. I got triggered. I was like, "Why did you turn down the volume?"
vacuuming. Didn't you see me?
I was like, "Turn on the music," and he's like, "It's too loud." And I'm like, "I do not care," because I'm going to different parts of the house. So
My one is putting metal music so I can finish up the work quickly.
yeah, that's sometimes it's how it is, right?
I don't actually tell people this stuff, but yeah. The drum beat actually makes me clean up quickly.
Yeah, because it's like you're doing it.
You know.
It makes it less boring, because it's a very boring thing to do,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
helps you
it is.
focus.
It is. I guess it's endurance as well. You know, come on,
Yeah.
get to the end, and let this two music be the one.
It's
to
like you
finish
wanna-
your
you-
mopping and vacuuming.
You kind of want to get over with the
Yeah.
thing, sometimes.
So yeah,
So-
man. So anyway, back to the career thing, guys. If you want to talk about, that's why when you ask me like, what do you think about careers today? I don't know. It has to be lifestyle. It has to be
Lifestyle?
acceptance of society's understanding of the human mind and human behavior with people.
Yeah.
Communication comes along with it. So we don't want to like iron out people with ADHD or people with bipolar. That no, you can't have. You're not fit to work in this corporate company. No, we gotta throw that
yeah.
out, man. We gotta have a
I-
safe space too. For women and for men.
I
A
had-
safe space.
I had that before. I had like the worst depression. So I asked for like the half day off because I just couldn't function anymore.
Right,
Right. And then they tried to fire me because
Whoa, dude.
apparently I was unfit to work
Horrible.
despite performing super well before that.
Thanks for shitting on my pain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's the problem. The thing is, I think it's also because some employers, I'm not saying all, some, but quite a majority actually, find that employees are disposable.
Try working in Asia. I mean, like not just Asia, but everywhere. But we get it hard here, man.
Yeah,
We
we're
get it hard.
underpaid.
You gotta understand, Malaysia has different races. India, Chinese, Malay, and everybody has the same thing in their head: make the money, get the people to work. They can't work, kick them out. So it's a very straight up. How would you say?
Segregation.
Segregation. No,
There's also a
no
stigma.
tact. No empathy.
Yeah.
It's work, and they just throw it in your face and say like, "It's work, man. You gotta get used to it. It's just work." No, this is not how it's supposed to be, dude. I would
No.
tell my employees, I say like, "Come on, we can work this out." If there's something that you want to be honest about and say, then we'll work on it.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna put you on the sideline and say like, "Oh, you're incapable to do this and that." I'm saying like, when you're ready to do something with me, okay, we can work something out. And I believe if everybody, 8 billion people can understand that, it wouldn't be so hard.
I think
I don't know.
I think it's also the fact that there's lack of empathy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lack of empathy, man. I mean, back in the days, I don't know, World War II started from there. Everybody just had to go out there and like work their butt off and get killed, for war. Poor kids, right? 17, 18 years old.
Oh my god. Yeah, they were
Out in the
deployed.
fields, deployed.
That's so crazy.
It's crazy. So I think now change is coming, and I guess we're overwhelmed with a lot of things that's happening. Well, global warming, earthquakes, whatever, guys. But
We've been a part of multiple historical events. We're burned out.
we're burned out.
Yeah,
The
we're a
great
part of-
burned out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had 2 recessions. We've had a pandemic, a literal pandemic that hasn't happened in 100 years. We've had that. The property prices are rising.
Yeah.
Everything's rising. Inflation,
Yeah.
economic.
So the younger ones could be asking like, what's the point of a career? Everything's shit.
Exactly. Right. Everything's shit. So everybody's just like, I think they're trying to take the
But I tell you what you
entrepreneurial-
can do. You make a living out of your living, man. I mean, think about it. I'm sure there's something that everybody can find in their passion. I mean, like, I don't know what to say. If you've never been to the cotton fields, just go to the cotton fields, strawberry fields, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in my head right now because we as freelancers, we're trying our best right now.
Yeah.
We
were trying. It was a lot of trial and error for us too, before we actually found what we love to do. So even for me, like content creation, there's a lot of like trial and error. So I have failed content creation for many years before I got here. And even so, I'm not done yet. I'm not even halfway done, guys. I'm still going.
Still learning.
Still learning.
Still
They're
learning.
still learning. Like we just started this podcast. It's literally the 2nd episode. There's a long way to go. And we have big plans for it, right?
We have big plans for it.
Yeah. And we're excited for you guys to be a part of that plan. And what I'm trying to get at is you never stop learning. The moment you stop learning is when you die.
Boom.
Boom.
Let that sink in. Are you vacuuming right now? Okay. So how did you feel in your career that this is not working out?
I think it was when I was starting to feel burnt out. And then I started questioning myself, is this what I want to do? And it's actually like a long time coming. When I was a software engineer, I realized it wasn't the path for me. It was because my boss pointed it out. So like he's a great guy. He's an owner of a e-commerce.
Good leader.
He's a very good leader.
Yeah.
I wasn't like underperforming or anything, but he could see that I was miserable, and he kind of like forgot his role as a boss. No, sorry, that's not how do I put it? It's basically like he let go of his role as a boss and became a father, and then asked me, is this what you really want to do? Because like I've been in your position before, where I had to do things to please my parents,
Wow.
because we are Asians, like Asians have this thing where we have to kind of appease our parents.
Yeah.
So, and then I told
Don't
him,
just do.
don't ask, just do, right?
Yeah.
Like what we said in the previous episode, don't ask, just do. So, and then he asked me, is this really what you want to do? And I'm like, is there any other path? And he's like, what do you like to do? And I say, I love to write. I love doing music, because back then I had a band, right? And he's like, okay, music is a little hard, to be honest.
Straight up, yeah.
Straight up, because it's risky, right?
Yeah.
It's risky because like you're doing art, and you're kind of like betting on your music to blow up. You're betting on your big break, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, the second path seems more doable, which was writing, right?
Right.
So that's when I got into advertising, and then the list goes on to the point where I got into content creation. Loved it so much.
Yeah.
But it was, I wouldn't say it was short-lived. I think it lasted for almost 2 years until I realized that place just wasn't right for me.
Yeah.
Because it was stunting my growth, right?
Yeah.
And then I moved on until my last company in March 2021,
Okay.
where I realized I have all these skills. Why am I working for people? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I'm not to say that if you have skills you can't work for people, but I'm just saying that I'm not being appreciated here
Yeah.
the way I should be, and like I can't really reach my full potential. I feel like there's more to it, There's a part of me saying there is more to this, There's got to be more to life, right? Than this, This is not it for me. It just
You
didn't
answered
feel
that
right.
call, dude.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Like, it's similar to what I was going through. Corporate world. Leader said, like, boss, team leader said, like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, Collin? I'm like, wow.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm here to work and get money, and yeah, I guess. Then she goes like, no, what do you really want to do with your life? And then I'm like, I'm gonna go do what I really want to do. And then she says like, yeah. And I asked her a question straight out. It was really fair for her. I asked this question, and the question was like, do I have a future here? Do I have any future here or anything in the corporate ladder? And she said no. And I'm like, that felt so free. I felt so free. I felt so happy. I felt so relieved to know that somebody out there notices like what I really wanted to do. And that helped a lot with like sending in my resignation letter and move on and started my freelance career. And I appreciate what she did. That was the honesty that I was looking for. That kind of validation is like, you can go do the things that you want to do for your life, and it's not so bad after all. It's from the corporate part of that, people in the corporate part that understood like what it takes to live, and I appreciate that. And I think each and every one of us, if no one is doing that for you, I think you have to do it for yourself, man. You got to ask yourself like, yeah, can I go do this? Because we're so accustomed to this sort of like validation, like, go do it. Okay, you're allowed to
Take this as your validation.
Yeah,
Go do it.
you're allowed to.
With calculated risk, of course. Calculated risk.
Yeah, calculate that risk, guys.
Because like you can't just jump.
Yeah,
you
don't
know?
just jump, calculate it.
Like what I tell, okay, so like I was in this Malaysian YouTuber Facebook group, right? There was this, I posted recently, hey, I got a silver play button. If you guys have any questions about YouTube, let me know,
Okay.
right? Because I'm happy to share. I want to do something for the community. So everybody keeps asking, how do you monetize? How do you do this? You know,
Straight
and
up, huh?
Straight up. And I said, so how many videos have you posted? And then
Okay.
they said, oh, I haven't even started. And I'm like, post 100 videos and come back to me. I know it sounds really arrogant, but I'm just saying you haven't even
Nah,
tried.
man, people have to be reminded about the work. It's like
Yes,
they don't want to hear about
absolutely.
the process, but they want to hear the end result so quickly. We have to understand that process will answer your questions of results.
Yeah.
After that, you know.
Because that's how you learn. Like nobody's
Yeah.
gonna teach you how to do content because right now you're trying to monetize off stolen content. Because I checked out their pages, they're just stealing videos and posting on their pages and expecting to monetize. And I'm just like, nah. But there was a kid who caught my eye. He's 17 and he's an aspiring animator, right? And he's like, how do we do YouTube? And then he called. Okay, so in Malaysia, there's this culture where you call each other big sister, big brother, right?
Okay.
So he called me Kak, which translates to big sister, right?
Big sis.
It's like big sis. I need help with my YouTube, and I'm like, how old are you? And then he says he's 17. So in Malaysia, there's a very important test that you have to take before graduating high school, right? It determines what you do in college and all that. What kind of colleges you get into. I'm not sure what's the American equivalent of that. But yeah, so I told him, focus on that. And then I was looking at some of his work. He's a really decent animator.
Wow.
You know? And I was like, this kid has potential. And then I said, focus on your, I know this is cliche, but like focus on your...
Get that out of the way.
Get it out of the way so that,
You're 17.
You're
okay?
17. You're really young. You
Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And then let's look at what's going to happen when you're 18.
Yeah, when
You know?
you're 18,
Yeah.
when you're done with the exam, come back to me. I will help you.
That's amazing.
Because I really
Yeah.
want to help him. Because, like,
Yeah.
he's putting in the work. And I told him, like, don't throw out your education.
Now, if you're telling him that, okay, you're going to assist, you're going to help, you're going to guide, you do understand that it's really up to him after that, how he processes it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right? We have
Yeah.
to be clear about that. And I think
Yeah.
that's important for us as the eldest, as the bigger brother or the bigger sister, to understand when to let go. Like, hey, I'm helping you in this, and this is much as what I know. I'm sharing it with you. I mean, maybe your process and your experience could be different, but I
Yeah.
wish you the best. And I think we need to understand that we do not hold that kind of emotional kind of like.
Yeah, you don't
chain.
you don't hold their hands the entire time.
Nah, man. And they have to understand that too. They need to know like, hey, okay, thank you so much for sharing whatever you learn and guiding me. And I'm ready to walk now, You can let go of the hand. You can let go of the hand now. And I think that's powerful. And that's where career actually takes place in society.
Yeah.
It needs to be that format of
Not spoon feeding.
No, not spoon feeding.
Which is what so many people in my inbox were doing. They were expecting me to spoon feed them, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that. I would ask them like, what do you like? If they have like content ready, right? And then they're like, why is my content bad? Can you critique my content? I would be happy to,
Yeah. Yeah.
because like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like when it comes to short videos, I think I'm pretty good at it. But when it comes to long form videos, it's a little hard. But I can tell you as an audience what I don't like, So like, I don't mind helping you if you've already put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, like, I don't know how we got to this topic, but anyways.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
understand.
kind of related to career as well, right?
It is because it's such a broad subject, guys. Career can be understood by, you live different cultures in different places, of course, but we do share the same thing. We want to grow. We want to have goals.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
we want to understand what's happening in our lives. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to disregard the pain and the fear and everything. Of course, it is part of it. And I want to encourage each and every one of you out there that, this too shall pass,
Yeah.
It shall take its place. So just be patient and
Yeah.
let time be your powerful currency. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Money can be money, right? But time.
Yeah.
It will always be yours.
And also, again, calculated risk, very important, which is what I was trying to teach, like people who are interested in learning, right? And
Yeah.
then everyone wants to be a content creator. I wouldn't say everyone, but like
Everyone
huge
is
amount
interested.
they're interested in being a content creator, right? But I have to let them in on the reality of it, how
Yeah.
broke I was in the first year.
Exactly.
How I struggled, how I saw my numbers were doing really badly. Even to this day, sometimes my numbers do very
I
badly.
remember you called me. You spoke to me on the phone.
Remember?
Yeah, and there was a time that you were figuring out, like, is this working out? Is this happening? I'm not sure what's going on. And I remember that I shared that time with you, and I said, like, I've been in this freelance industry for almost 10 years, and I understand where you are, and it's okay to feel this way.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's very human because
Yeah.
you're not alone. And I think it felt better when you realized that, yeah, I'm not doing this by myself. I got people out there too going through the same challenges and same time.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a comforting feeling.
It is. It is. Yeah. You're not alone, guys.
You're really not, because
Yeah.
like we struggled as much as you did.
Hope this podcast helps you understand a little bit more about yourself. And we definitely get to understand a little bit more of ourselves, and career and whatever it is going on in this world.
Yeah, because there's just so many things. It's overwhelming. Sometimes you have to tune out the noise and focus on what really matters. Finding yourself.
Awesome. So find something that you like to do and figure it out, and then get enough information. Risk management, like you say.
Risk management. Absolutely
Yeah.
talk to people in the industry if you can. If you're interested in animation, try to find and network people.
I would say don't rush into it.
Don't rush into it. Absolutely
into
not.
it.
Like for me, I didn't realize that I've been doing content creation since 2010.
This is not related, but it's the same questions people ask me about what kind of tattoos I should get. I say, if you don't know what tattoos you want to get, don't get any tattoos until you're sure.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
permanent. That's the thing. Like
Exactly.
with like financial decisions and all that, like you can jump, but you need to know how deep you're jumping into.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. How do you teach people to take ownership? Huh? How do you teach people to be responsible and take ownership?
Because when you're doing your own thing, right, you're accountable for everything, your
Exactly.
rise and your fall. Because like even for me, like even if I don't feel like filming this podcast, I have to do it anyway because I'm accountable, right? And if I don't want to film content, I have to remember that means the entire of next week there's not going to be anything posted.
That's right. We are responsible
Yeah,
For-
you're responsible for your own actions.
for this interaction.
Yeah,
For this.
it comes with freedom, but
Yeah.
freedom to be accountable, because like nobody's controlling you. Like if you want to take a break, you can, but you need to sort of understand the repercussions of like slacking. Taking a break is fine, right?
Yeah.
Taking a break is totally fine. I'm sure
Yeah.
like sometimes you feel burnt out and you just want to take a break, right? I do that too. But in my case, I will ride on when I'm motivated. So like I just keep pushing myself to churn out as much content as possible when I have that drive. And then on the days where I'm tired and I feel burnt out, I stop. And I do absolutely nothing.
You just gave me a good perspective here. Hear me out. What do you think? That you talk about career, right? Mm-hmm. And you talk about, I think the career right now that you need to look for in your life is accepting yourself first. And that's where the career starts.
Exactly.
I think that's where, I think we got to the root of it. Like we can be technical, we can be corporate, you got to have this, you got to have all these certificates. Congratulations on your Harvard diploma or whatever degree, right? Those things are great. But I think deep down, all of us as human beings is to learn how to accept, and what you mentioned just now,
to kind of like circumvent your issues, in a way.
That's where your career is going to start. Because if you're going to get yourself out there healthy and you're going to get yourself in a good state of mind with yourself, not in society's expectations, but in your own expectation,
Yeah.
that's where your career is.
Yeah.
I think that's the career, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Lifestyle. Career lifestyle. It has
Career,
to.
lifestyle.
Yeah, you know? I mean,
essentially, don't use your weaknesses as an excuse. Try to
Yeah.
find the strength and the blessing behind it.
can I add on a little bit more?
Yeah.
Why am I saying this? Because I know some of my friends, they made it. They got a company, they got a car, they got a family, they got the money. They're good. You made it. Congratulations. You wanted to have a family, you wanted to be married. Great on you. But guess what? They're freaking out right now, dude.
Why are they freaking out?
Because they don't know what to do.
What to do? Because they're done.
Because there's like it comes to a point in their life like, okay, I imagine that I have all of this. Family, car, careers, material stuff. But deep down, they feel empty. Some of friends were husbands. Yeah, I don't know about the wives, but I can relate, you know. And at this point, they ask themselves like, yeah, I made it in the career. Now what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I made it. I got everything that I wanted to get. CEO, boss, whatever, right? But deep down inside, they're empty. So I felt like career has to be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You gotta balance it out.
I understand what you're getting at.
You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
though?
I was kind of
Yeah.
like, where are we going? And I'm like,
I'm sorry, I apologize. I was trying to like put it together and try to explain. This is one of my bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I'm trying to get to a point, and this is half of men trying to explain shit sometimes. We get so confused with our own explanation. I'm sure you guys out there can relate, right? Yeah.
My husband does this thing where he
Sorry,
tries
girls.
he tries to tell a story,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Oh, my friend broke up," and I'm like, "Oh no, why? What happened?" Like that lah.
Credits roll.
And I'm like, "Details." It's like, I don't know. I didn't ask.
Yeah. So guys, it's pretty normal to feel that way. You're struggling to explain something to your partner or anybody. Please bear with us. Please bear with us. But you know what I mean right now? Career,
Yeah.
lifestyle. It has to be together. It has to be a career and lifestyle that has happiness.
I think it's
Yeah.
like, I think your goal should be happiness. That's what you're getting at, right?
Exactly. Exactly. It has to be happiness. Career, lifestyle, and it has to be happiness. And that happiness has to be very, very intimate with you. What's your happiness? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
that? You know?
And everybody has different definitions of happiness. There is no
Yeah.
one size fits all. I do not believe in that.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody has different. I get it. If you're 50 years old and you still like remote control cars, go for it. You know, you got the money now to buy it.
Yeah, I got adult
if it
money,
makes,
man.
If it makes you happy, go for it. Don't be so hard on society's needs.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
for me, like, because like at this age, at my age, right? I'm married. I've been married for a couple of years now. Some of the older family members start asking, "So when are you having a baby?"
Oh man,
You
can
know?
you ask them when they're dying? When's their funeral?
I mean,
So sensitive.
I know. Like, what if I have a health
Just
condition
kidding,
that I
just
don't
kidding.
know? You know?
But
And then-
yeah, for the fucking sake of conversations. So when are you gonna have a kid? Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's like I get it that sometimes like small people struggle with small talk, but it's a very sensitive topic, and they're not aware of like why we decide to delay. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all why. I just want to travel. Okay,
Straight up.
I just want to travel. I didn't have freedom until I was 25. Okay, I had my driving license at 17. So like, imagine having like a helicopter parent that observes your every move, that sends spies to observe your every move
Crazy.
until you're 25.
Right.
I had a driving license at 17. I only started driving at 25 and crashed the car a month later.
Wow.
By accident, of course. Not on purpose. By accident.
It happens. It happens.
It happens, you know, because I have never driven in my life, you know, so I was, you know, I
I can
didn't
imagine
drive.
being 25, then you got your car license and start driving. It must be
Yeah.
overwhelming, dude.
It was overwhelming. It was
Yeah.
also my first job, so I was kind of like, first job, first car, first time driving, crash. So like it kind of adds up because it's a lot of stress, you know. So then at this age, it's only been 5 years since my freedom, my absolute
5
freedom.
years.
5 years.
Wow.
So I can say I'm 5 years old. So I want to travel. I want to do things that I want to do. I want to quit my job and be a content creator, which I couldn't do before because I was living under my family's roof, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get kicked out. I got married. So anyway, just to clarify, okay? Because like,
Of course. Of course.
So basically, I moved out, and that's when I got my freedom, And I just want to live life for a bit.
I want to say I'm proud of you, dude.
Thank you.
You said it. You said it like this is what you wanted to do, and then you asked and say like, is it gonna be okay? I said no, I'm not sure about it. Let's just do it.
I don't know, man.
But it's gonna be okay in a different perspective. That's what I meant. It's all about your perspective.
Yeah.
When you change that perspective in understanding why, it becomes why not, and then boom, you
Yeah.
have it, and then
Absolutely.
it takes you to a different adventure, the road less traveled, and with this road less traveled, you discover yourself.
Isn't that a poem?
It's crazy. I don't know. It's in my head right now. but I just want to say that yeah, I'm proud of you, and
Aw,
I'm
thank
proud of
you.
everybody else. If you guys are going through that right now, celebrate this little success. We have to take away format celebrating. Like you got a career, like you just got promoted. Yeah, celebrate. But why don't you just celebrate that you got out of bed?
Yeah, for real, man.
That you managed to I don't know, wash the dishes or
Did your skincare.
clean the house. I don't know. Maybe you managed to sing a song. Keep it simple.
Yeah, some people struggle with self-care because their mental health has been really bad. I have been in that situation before where I struggled with daily stuff like brushing my teeth, right? So that was when my mental health was at the worst state. So, and then I started celebrating when I do take care of myself.
Dude,
You know?
dude. Everybody out there, start celebrating, man.
Start celebrating the small things,
Start celebrating. the
I'm not
small
saying
things.
try to be complacent, but I'm saying like if you feel like life is overwhelming, this is what my friend told me, one of my best friends. She said, try to journal and write things you're grateful about. So start your morning with like what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then at night, end your nights with what you're grateful for during the day, what you achieved. Congratulate yourself, even for getting out of bed, because not a lot of people can do that.
Sometimes when things are tough for me, it makes me stop.
Makes you stop?
Just stop for a while and just take a break.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to touch grass.
Yeah, just
Just touch grass.
dissociate from your issues for a while. Take a break
Yeah.
and get that. So maybe we can talk about that next time. How do we do that? But yeah, thank you so much. I think too legit to quit, huh?
Too legit to quit. Just be too legit to quit, just like the show.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit.
You guys are too legit to quit, man.
Facts.
Facts.
And that concludes this week's episode of Too Legit to Quit. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us in our socials, link in the description below. We'll see you next time. Ramadan Mubarak from Yana, Azlee, and
Collin over here. Bye, guys. Thank you.
bye.